You understand English. You can follow videos. You can read comments. You know what the other person is saying. But when it's your turn to respond, your mind slows down. This gap feels confusing, because understanding feels like progress. So speaking should come next. But that's not how the brain works. Understanding and responding are two different processes. Understanding is passive. Responding is active. When you listen, your brain receives information. When you respond, your brain must choose, organize, and release words. That second step needs a different kind of readiness. Most learners skip this fact. They assume that more listening automatically creates speaking. But listening alone does not create response. It creates familiarity, and familiarity is only the base layer. Now let's look at what actually blocks your response. The first block is decision overload. When someone speaks to you, your brain doesn't struggle with meaning. It struggles with choice. Which words should I use? Which tense is right? Is this sentence correct? What if I sound wrong? All these decisions happen in seconds. That pressure freezes the response. So silence appears, not because you don't know English, but because your brain is trying to be safe. Your mind chooses silence over risk. The second block is mental translation. You understand English directly, but you try to respond through your native language. Your thought forms in your language first. Then you try to convert it into English. That extra step slows everything down. By the time the sentence is ready, the moment has already passed. This creates panic, and panic kills response. The third block is self-monitoring. You listen freely, but you speak carefully. While responding, you watch yourself. You check grammar. You check pronunciation. You check reactions. This self-watching breaks flow. Fluent speakers don't watch themselves. They release thoughts first. Learners try to correct before releasing. That delay creates silence. Now understand this clearly. Your problem is not English. Your problem is the response system. A system trained to be careful, not comfortable. That's why you understand long conversations but reply with short words. That's why your mind goes blank even when you know the answer. This is not a confidence issue. It's a processing issue, and processing can be trained. Why forcing yourself to speak makes it harder? After realizing you can't respond, most people try to fix it by force. They push themselves to speak. They promise to answer faster. They try to sound correct. This feels logical, but this is where the real damage starts. Because forced speaking blocks natural response. When you force yourself, your brain switches into performance mode. Performance mode is not communication. It is pressure. Your focus moves from meaning to accuracy, from connection to control, and control slows everything down. This is why you feel tense even before speaking. Your body tightens. Your breath shortens. Your voice feels unnatural. This is not lack of practice. This is stress response. Now understand something important. Speaking is not a thinking task. It is a releasing task. Thinking comes before. Speaking comes after. When you force speaking, you try to think and release at the same time. That overloads the system. Your brain can either think clearly or speak smoothly. It can't do both under pressure. This is why children speak freely. They don't monitor. They don't check. They don't correct in real time. They release first. Correction comes later. Learners reverse this order. They try to correct before release. That creates hesitation. This point is important. When someone asks you something, you expect a full answer. That expectation creates fear. But conversations don't need full answers. They need movement. A small response keeps the flow alive. Fluent speakers don't aim for perfect replies. They aim for continuation. That's the secret. Response is not about saying everything. It's about saying something. Even a simple line is enough. I see. That makes sense. I think so. These lines buy time. They reduce pressure. They keep the brain relaxed. Forcing yourself skips this step. You try to deliver a complete idea immediately. That's why your mind freezes. Now look at what actually helps. Comfort creates response, not courage. Comfort comes from repetition without pressure. When your brain feels safe, words come out naturally. When your brain feels judged, silence feels safer. So stop measuring your speaking. Stop testing yourself in every conversation. Your job is not to impress. Your job is to stay present. This is where things change. Response doesn't appear suddenly. It builds quietly, in layers. Most learners think speaking improves when they practice full sentences. But response improves when the brain learns timing. Timing matters more than length. When someone speaks to you, your brain has only one job at first. Stay with the sound. Not prepare an answer, not search for words. Just stay present. The moment you start preparing, you leave listening. And when listening breaks, response breaks. Fluent responders don't prepare replies. They react. Reaction is faster than construction. This is why short reactions matter. Yes, right, okay, I see. These are not weak responses. They are bridges. They connect listening to speaking. Once the bridge is there, longer responses can walk across. Without the bridge, everything collapses. Now understand the role of rhythm. Conversation has rhythm, not grammar. Listen, small response. Listen again, another response. This rhythm trains the brain to release words on time. Learners break rhythm by waiting too long. They wait for the perfect moment. That moment never comes. Instead, respond early, not complete, not perfect. Early. Early response reduces pressure. Pressure is the enemy of response. Another important factor is breath. When you hold your breath, your voice tightens. When your voice tightens, words disappear. Before responding, exhale lightly. Not deeply, not dramatically. Just release the chest. This simple physical shift signals safety to the brain. Safety unlocks response. This is what most people miss. Many learners feel they have nothing to say. That's not true. You always have something to say. But you think content means ideas. In conversation, content means reaction, agreement, confusion, interest, pause. These are responses too. You don't need opinions. You need presence. If you're present, response happens naturally. Another mistake is trying to sound interesting. Interest comes from engagement, not performance. If you listen well and respond simply, people feel connection. Connection matters more than vocabulary. Now notice this pattern. When you're relaxed, responses come faster. When you're tense, even simple words feel heavy. So response training is relaxation training. Not speaking drills, not sentence lists. Relaxation in interaction. This is why forcing practice fails. You train tension, not response. Instead, practice staying calm while staying engaged. Short replies, early replies, natural pauses. That's the formula. Over time, your brain learns something new. Speaking is safe. Response is allowed. Silence is not required. And one day, you won't think about responding. You'll just respond. So the final step is to turn response into habit. This doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in small, daily interactions. Moments that don't feel important. A greeting, a short reply, a casual question. These moments train your system without pressure. When someone says, "Good morning," your response doesn't need planning. Morning, good morning, hey. Any response keeps the system active. When someone asks, "Did you finish this?" you don't need an explanation. Yes, almost, not yet. That's enough. Each small response teaches your brain one thing. Speaking is normal. This point is important. Consistency, not long practice, not heavy sessions, just regular exposure. If you respond a little every day, your brain stays warm. Warm systems respond faster. Cold systems freeze. Another important part is letting mistakes pass. When you notice a mistake, don't stop. Don't correct immediately. Finish the thought. Let the moment move. Correction can wait. Flow cannot. Fluent speakers value flow, not perfection. This mindset changes everything. Now think about silence. Silence is not always bad. But avoiding response is. There's a difference. Pausing to think is fine. Avoiding to speak is not. Choose response over retreat, even if it's small. Now notice how this feels. Less pressure, less control, more movement. That's natural speaking. Not loud, not fast, not perfect, just alive. Over time, these small responses connect. Short replies become longer, reactions become explanations, explanations become conversations, not because you forced them, because you allowed them. That's the shift, from trying to speak to letting speech happen. And once this happens, English stops feeling like a task. It becomes part of how you interact. Not special, not heavy, just natural.